What is going on, guys? Good morning, good morning, good morning. What is going on? Good to see everybody. Let me just check to make sure connection's all good. What is going on? For you guys on YouTube, can you see me? What's up, Alec Duarte? What's going on, Cheech? Mattia, Crank, Josh, Surf. What's going on, guys? Michael. What's going on, Christina? Good to see everybody. Stereo Hound, what's going on, guys? All right, let's go over the markets real quick. I'm gonna do my my typical top-down analysis. I'm looking at gold right now. I will look at this in a second because there looks to be an interesting setup on gold, especially if the dollar looks like it might want to pop up today. There might be an interesting setup on gold, but let's start with the S&P 500. Morning from the Big East. What's going on? Ashanti. What's going on? No, Asiante. I always get your name wrong. I'm sorry, bro. All right. Good morning from Oahu. I was just on the Big Island. Let's get started. So on the daily, on the S&P 500, we are coming into this tiny imbalance here. This is a daily fair value gap. We rejected off of it and are now seeing some blood today. This is on the daily chart. If we skip down to the 4-hour, things might seem a little more clear, as you have a 4-hour fair value gap that's a little more clear than the one that is on the daily, right? Yesterday we had an insane squeeze day. This is how the markets go. It looks like we are getting the volatility that we want, the volume that we want post holiday, right? So we're coming up into this 4-hour fair value gap, currently rejecting off of it on the 4-hour. Now, what's interesting is there are quite a few imbalances down here that were created from the squeeze yesterday. And we don't know yet whether these imbalances are going to hold. For instance, if we take a look at the high time frame at the 4-hour, right? Are we going to dig into this? Where's my mouse pointer? Whoop. Why do you spam a Discord group that's not yours? You talking to me? I hope you're not. What if we come into this fair value gap and then pop up, right? And we also have an order block here too, which coincides with that. If you look at this green candle here, right? So what if we come into this and reject off of it? Support and resistance traders will, say that this is resistance. It's now retested as support or whatever you call it, right? A freaking breaker, order block, imbalance, whatever. The point is, are we going to retrace here and then bounce higher? In my view, I do think that this was a strong bounce off of the summer highs, right? That you see here. These were the summer highs. This was a strong bounce off of the summer highs. And yesterday was like a 2% day on the NASDAQ, 1.5% day on the S&P. So I would not be surprised for today to see some relief and then us bounce up again to take out the highs that we created in December, right? But what we're trying to determine for today is what is the direction for today, because we're trying to day trade today. Background music is still on. Yeah. Is it bothering you? Sounds good to me. But let me know if it's bothering you. So what we're trying to determine is what is going to happen today, right? And this is why we have to start cycling through different time frames. Now, if we take a look at what happened this morning, let me just remove these drawings, right? This morning, we took out wait, was this from, hold on, 15-minute Monday. What's today, Tuesday? Oh, sorry. My bad. We didn't take out anything. This was from yesterday. So this morning, we can mark out, right? Here's yesterday's high. We can mark this out as P high of the day. This is Asia high. I'm not even going to bother marking it out. And then we have London. But let me mark out midnight real quick. Midnight opening price on the S&P 500 was 4796.25 right here. So we're going to call this midnight. This is going to be important later if we come back to retest it. And then obviously we are below London low, right? This right here is London low. And this is very important right now. I'll tell you why in a second. But I'm just showing you how I mark out my day, right? So this right here is London low. India's yoga music is much calming to learn. Come on, bro. We're not in a yoga studio. All right. So this is London. This is midnight. This is all New York time, right? So London is between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. Eastern time. That is the London kill zone. That's not the complete gamut of London hours. London is actually still trading right now. And this is the previous day high, okay? Now, what's important to know is that we fell below London. Usually, on days like yesterday, right? How did we catch the long yesterday? Even though I actually did not enter a trade, but a lot of people did off of the analysis, right? So yesterday, we actually took liquidity below the London consolidation. This was a consolidation. We dropped below, and it was a classic power of three, and then just squeezed the entire day, right? And there were some chances to get in before market open. After market open, very slim chance, unless you somehow jumped in at this fair value gap near the previous high, which probably wasn't advisable unless you were just YOLOing. Either way, this is what happens when you take out London liquidity, right? But in this case, it looks like we took out London. We came up to retest London lows and rejected off there, right? So for me, this is actually a bearish sign. And it looks like we don't really have much in the way of liquidity besides yesterday's pre-market low, right? Now, there are obviously a bunch of imbalances here, as I said, created from yesterday's squeeze. So it makes today kind of precarious. But if I was to lean one way or another today, just for today, I'm not saying for the following days, I am leaning a bit more bearish, and I can see us at least start to dip more into this fair value gap here on the S&P 500. So I would be wary of trying to short this more than what this 4-hour fair value gap is presenting here. The range of this 4-hour fair value gap, which is about a 22-point range just in here, right? But if I was to short, this would be my target on the higher time frame. So on the lower time frame, it looks like this, right? This is how you develop targets. Because if you look at it on the 15-minute, for instance, it looks really like there's nothing stopping you from dropping all the way down till you get to yesterday's pre-market low down here, right? So this is what I'd be looking at, this gray box here, which is essentially the 4-hour gap from my high time frame analysis. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, let's take a look at NQ. What do we have on NQ? Let's go high time frame. NQ looks a little more clear to me. Now, on the daily on NQ, right, we're coming up into this fair value gap, rejected, and it's a similar pattern to what ES is showing. I think is just a little more clear. Now, what's scary about this is this was the exact same pattern that we saw during the summer correction. So if you look at the summer correction here, right, we created a high, huge red days, then we had a squeeze day into this fair value gap, and then rejected to correct, right? Remember that CPI is this Thursday too. That's going to dictate a lot of what happens here. So if you are, you know, I've been really diving into the concept of external range liquidity, internal range liquidity, right? So if you consider this to be your external range liquidity, or sorry, if you take this to be your external range liquidity, this is your internal range liquidity off the fair value gap, then we could see a drop to the low of yesterday's candle eventually as your external range liquidity, before potentially going back up if we are to be bullish, right? But I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. So for today, what am I looking at on NQ? Very similar to ES, right? The only thing is that on ES, we completely surpassed this fair value gap here, and it looks like we have zero regard for it, right? Which is part of why I'm saying I'm leaning bearish, as well as testing London low and dropping. So it looks to me like this fair value gap is likely going to be mostly mitigated, whereas with NQ, it is already deep into this second fair value gap, right? Because it did squeeze more yesterday, so it left more of an imbalance yesterday. This is all from yesterday's price action. So I'd be very curious to see, because NQ's already in this, and NQ and ES are related, right? NQ's already in this. I'd be very curious to see what happens if NQ completely flushes this gap. Then I think ES, which so far pre-market is the stronger index, then I think it will give a precursor to us doing the same on ES, right? So NQ might give you the heads up to short ES, because NQ is a little bit more ahead in terms of what it's doing with the points of interest, right? Guys, if you were on this channel, hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up so that other people can find the stream. The weekly expected move? No, you asked me this already. I don't incorporate the weekly expected move. All right, RTY. is looking really interesting here on the 4 hour. Now this on RTY looks like a typical long here, right? So on RTY, we broke structure on the 4 hour, right? We got a displacement and we are now retracing into this fair value gap, right? We are now retracing into this fair value gap. So this to me looks like a potential long on RTY. Loving the porn music. Yeah, there might be a solid long on RTY setting up. If you see, it's making higher highs and higher lows, right? And then we did drop into this daily fair value gap and jumping to the 4 hour. This to me looks like a liquidity wick. We broke structure and are now retracing in here. But I will say it doesn't give me comfort the way that it is displacing inside this fair value gap. This type of energetic move into what is supposed to be a bullish point of interest is not comforting. So I'm not longing this yet without confirmation, but I am looking out for it. So that's going to be on my radar. Yeah, RTY is super interesting. I'll tell you why, guys. You can also make the case here that this right here, the swing failure, right, was a fake out and a liquidity grab. This is on the daily, right, of this previous level that we saw in the summer. And then we broke below these block of orders here, came back up to retest, and might take this down, right? You can make that case, which is why you need confirmation. So the confirmation I'd be looking at on RTY, if we get below this low here, and especially if it closes like, you know, I'm gonna draw a really funny candle right now. But especially if it closes like this, below that, I'll consider that a change in the state of delivery. And my bias on RTY will probably be short. And then I'll be looking for a retracement to take it short. So no move yet on RTY. The 10-year yield. Okay. So to me, what's clear, guys, is that the 10-year yield and the dollar are clearly waiting for CPI. That's what's clear to me. Clearly waiting for CPI. You see this consolidation here? It's waiting for CPI. Now, here's what happens if CPI disappoints, right? And as I said before, the Cleveland Fed. Am I live on X? I wonder if I'm live on X. As I said before, the Cleveland Fed is projecting a higher than expected CPI, right? Actually, you know what? This is what I want to see. Cleveland Fed projections. I want to see how accurate their projections are. I'm sure there's a way to find this out. How accurate their projections are, how accurate their projections have been. Because I remember that in 2022, their projections have actually come over quite often. Inflation now casting core. So if you look at it, where's CPI? They're expecting CPI to come in at 0.3%. And they're expecting core to come in at 0.33%. And I think that the CPI, the official CPI projections, I'm trying to find this. Official CPI projections. Where is this? All right. If we go here. So official CPI projections are 3.2%. For some reason, it's not showing me the month over month here. But its official projection is 3.2%, and the Cleveland Fed is expecting 3.3%, 3.32, right? So if it comes in higher than expected, then I think what's going to happen is you're going to see the dollar actually rally more into this fair value gap. Right? The dollar is going to rally once again into here. You're going to see rates rally as well. So you will likely see a decline of ZT and ZN and a rally in the 10-year, right? That would give an opportunity for an entry on gold. I think gold at that point will decline. I think you'll get probably a decline in Bitcoin too. You'll get a decline in Bitcoin as well. And it will set up for some potential buys there, right? But to me, it's clear that the 10-year and the dollar are waiting for CPI projections. That's clear to me. Will it affect TMF? Of course, bro. Of course it'll affect TMF. What do you mean? TMF is just it's a 3x bond ETF, right? But we're already out of our TMF shares. We made 40% on TMF, which was insane because we caught almost the bottom. I think I went into TMF November 9th or something, somewhere around here. All right. CPI tomorrow? No, I just told you, bro. CPI is on Thursday. It's right here. January 11th, 8:30 a.m. What is a good entry point on TLT? I think you missed the boat. I I think you missed the boat on TLT. I think you missed the boat on small caps. Obviously missed the boat on the indices. I think there isn't much opportunity to long much here, if I'm being honest. I like Tesla. I think there's an opportunity there. You know what? Let me check on Boeing real quick. I want to see. Yeah, see, I think a lot of people made the mistake of buying Boeing calls yesterday. And I think this will likely continue to drop until I'll only be interested in once I see signs of basing, honestly. But I think the boat has been missed on a lot of things. I think there are, like I said yesterday, if you look at the individual sectors of the S&P 500, so if you look at XLE, which is energy, this might give somewhat of an opportunity. If you look at consumer staples, somewhat of an opportunity. These are the sectors that aren't inflated yet. XLU, right? Financials report on Friday. I would wait until that report, to be honest. I've held the position in XLF since mid last year. And I just reminded myself, actually, I might sell calls against that. XLF is super high right now. And all of the financials, Citibank, Bank of America, they all report on Friday. Yeah, told you yesterday I was buying some Tesla calls. Yeah, I like selling puts. Apple, yes. I actually did I did an analysis on Apple here. Yeah, I think Apple, I don't think it's an amazing opportunity, right? I think it's a good opportunity. I don't think it's amazing, if I'm being honest. But yeah, we're looking to take the group private. We're looking to take the group private on January 31st. And then at that point, it'll be by waitlist / application only. So if you were looking to join the group before then, make sure that you use the promo code in the description. AAPL will give you $99 a month for life. Otherwise, we are going to close on January 31st. So if you did want to ever get my analysis or day trades, if you wanted to get the option selling, which we just started at the beginning of the month, already killing it on Mara, on Tesla, about to sell options on Tesla soon. Make sure you jump in. Man, Tesla's really struggling at this 240 level. Tesla is really struggling at this 240 level. Nvidia's up pre-market. Someone was trying to short Nvidia yesterday on the stream. I'm like, you are insane, bruh. Yeah, I'm really curious about RTY here, because it has been making extreme moves. It has been making extreme moves, and you can make a case for a long-term short or long. It's just the short would need more confirmation, right? You cannot just blindly short something that's like this, that's still in a, you know, bullish trend, right? But as I said, if we get a close below here and then a retracement back up, then I'll look for a short. Otherwise, Jesus Christ. That was so loud. How I mute the music? Fine. Fine. You guys are gonna take out the shine from this stream. There. No more music. Can beginners join the group? Now, yes. After January 31st, no. But now, yes. Do you have a link? It's in the description, bro. Or go to thetravelingtrader.com. I like the music. I know, Dina. I know. They're trying to steal our vibes. You know what I mean? Exactly, Shane. There's always a couple, right? There's always a couple. There was a couple people that are trying to ruin the party. All right. Market just opened. Let's see what happens. I hate it, man. Put the beats back on. Okay. Vanessa, Forpello, Penny, Dina, Shane. They all vote for music. Music's coming back on. D. Yeah, music's coming back on by popular request. Here, fine. I'll turn it down a little bit. By the way, this couple here, they are the GOATs. I love this YouTube channel. There, I turned it down, okay? The channel's called Flavor Trip. Go check them out. They're amazing. Is that one of the guys from Hall & Oates? I think he's much younger than that, bro. All right, let's see what happens here. Let's get back to business, guys. NQ looks like it might be recovering a bit, right? Like I said, NQ seems to be moving ahead of ES today. Nice. So, again, we want to mark out midnight open. That is an important level. 16,781.75. Right here. Let's go midnight. London low is this. We already rejected London low once. And so far, this looks bearish as F. What I would want to see to long this is if we can get above London and if we can get above this order block here. Because if we reject off this order block, right, like say you have an order block right here. You have an order block right here, right? If we reject off this, then very little chance, at least until the PM session. Very little chance that we turn bullish. I need to see a close above this. And then we'll likely look for longs here. Otherwise, this to me looks bearish. You can, by the way, this is not an A+ trade by any means, but you can take this 2-to-1 scalp here. It's a little more than 2-to-1. Now, this is a riskier trade, but it's basically banking on NQ not yet giving confirmation for a long. And if this fails, by the way, I think that we're going to go woo like this until at least this area here. Right? And this is like, I always get the question of, oh, what time frame? When do I use what time frame? If I'm on the 15-minute here, stream got messed up. Is it messed up for anyone else? Oh, where the fuck did my camera go? Ay, ay, ay. Where did my camera go? Yeah, 1 second. The camera is messed up. Ha! I look tiny. 1 second. Let's try this. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. All right, thank you for that. Who wants to look at Z anyways? Yeah, I agree. I don't know. All right. So anyway, back what I was saying about time frames, right? If we're on the 15 and we want to get more context about this, we got to jump down. You can see this clear rejection off this 15-minute order block. On the 5-minute. 3-minute doesn't look so hot either. But on the 3-minute, we have what? This FVG, right? So what if we dig into this and break above? Yeah, this is not looking good. This looks bearish to me. This looks bearish to me. I just need an entry. You know, the weekly still looks bullish. So far. But I can't say the same for today. I'm just trying to find an entry, man. That's all it is now. No, my face did not disappear. You're watching it on delay. Hmm. Yeah, as I said, gold is looking weak-ish. It keeps making these attempted pushes. I might take this broader gold. I don't want to short something heavily into CPI. Guys, if you're on the stream, leave a thumbs up. So that other people can find the stream. Hmm. Yeah, there was no way to catch Tesla here. There was no retracement offered. Palantir, I was hoping to get up to here so that I could take it short to 15. That short wasn't going to provide an entry on NQ, but it wouldn't have hit my entry. But this is why I was looking at a short here. 2-to-1 short from this level. It already played out. Why can't I find futures tickers on Thinkorswim? I don't know, bro. I'm not sitting at your computer. How do I know what you're doing or typing? Maybe close all of your Pornhub tabs. Man, this would have been the perfect freaking short on NQ. It didn't hit my entry level, so I'm not too mad, but that's a perfect read right there. All right. Well, this trade is not available anymore. So let's remove that. Jerry says, anyone in call options for Spirit JetBlue merger? Jerry, if you know about it, then obviously it's priced in info, isn't it? Tesla is now yesterday low. It's okay to long now. Guys, formulate a plan. Don't just throw random money at the market. Is it okay to long? I mean, yeah, you could do whatever you like, but what is your thesis? You think Tesla is about to grab liquidity below relative equal lows? On what time frame are you looking at? You talking about this? Yeah, I mean, that's where it's headed for. You're talking about this here? I mean, it took liquidity below yesterday's low already. Right here. Yeah, I'd be interested. I mean, tough shot, but I'd be interested in a potential reversal on Tesla. I think the market, I think it will give an opportunity later today. It's too stagnant after market open, right? The movement, the range after market open is very small. Like, you're only talking about these two candles here, right? So you're talking about, you know, a 30-point range on NQ. And on ES, you're talking about not even a 10-point range. You know what I mean? So I do think we'll get something definitive here. What you would hope for, is there a Fed meeting? February 1st. What you'd hope for is us to take out these lows here and then give confirmation for a long, right? Here's what I'm hoping for. This would set up for a perfect trade with the most upside. I'm hoping that if we consolidate here, right, and then we break below, this will give us a potential power of 3 like this to then long it to the upside. That's what I'm hoping for. And the reason I'm hoping for that is not obviously just because I want the market to be green. Green would be nice. Green is always nice, especially if you hold stocks. But I think it gives the most optimal move, because if the market continues down, which it certainly can, I think there is a larger move to be had if the market reverses today than if the market continues, right? And I think that the entry will be a little clearer if the market reverses versus continues, because even though we didn't get an entry on NQ, those entries will not be as clear as a reversal, right? It will not be as clear as consolidation, manipulation, and then potential reversal, which is what I'm hoping for, because it would make the cleanest move. This just slow trickle down into all of these imbalances from yesterday. It's not really the most optimal of trading. I mean, even if you were to short this, right, you did not get an optimal entry on either NQ or ES. That NQ short was nice, but it did not come up to my entry. Stop just short. ES, same thing. If I was to short ES, it would be from this, but we didn't even get to that level. But I do think we will likely get a nice move. These types of setups usually, like when we're in a very tight range after market open, we usually tend to get a nice move PM. Like there's no way that the market stays like this. I mean, I say no way tongue in cheek. You got killed this morning? Who are you talking to? Craving 8805. Who are you talking to? And what are you talking about? I think we end the day green. You know what? I don't disagree, Luis. I don't disagree. There is definitely a chance for that. Because if you look at the 4 hour, bro, this doesn't, I mean, this would support a potential reversal here, right? So we crossed below last week's low. Oh, shnikes. Hold up. Friday. So this was New Year's week. This was Christmas week. No. This was the week before Christmas, right? So this is a weekly low. So if you look at the 4 hour, we took liquidity below that, broke structure to bullish, and are now retracing into a high time frame fair value gap. Mark Reed, I doubt that you killed it because NVIDIA opened the day green. So you probably had a huge drawdown, right? And NVIDIA is only down 0.49%. So would like to know what killing it means. Yeah, but I do think Chad, I'm gonna alert the Discord as to the ZT play. I do think that this does support a potential long later in the day. So I don't disagree with you, Luis. It's just we're not seeing confirmation of it right now. Same thing on NQ, right? Took out liquidity, broke structure, and are now retracing into this high time frame fair value gap. So I'm interested in longs if they present themselves, all right? A lot of times people misconstrue that with me saying go long here. I'm not saying go long yet. I'm saying what I am interested in is a setup for a long. So I need to see some sort of bullish structure in place But that's what I'm interested in. What's crude oil doing? There might be a nice long on crude here. Let's see if the trade makes sense. Trade only makes sense from 71.30. See, just because there's a setup, you have to make sure that it's rewarding you with the proper risk to reward, right? So if I took a setup from up here and I put my stop limit where I'm comfortable, which is below all these imbalances, it's only a 1.5 to 1 trade. So in order to change that, I have to take it from lower. Your camera's gone again? Fucking camera, bro. There it is. Actually, there was an inverted fair value gap here too. Yeah, I like this long on oil here. All right, let's see what the see, so I'm talking about, bro. Yeah, I'm definitely favoring a long here. Like I was just discussing with Luis, I could see, if not today, tomorrow, I could see us turning green, but hopefully today, because it would provide a nice opportunity once we definitively break structure here. And what did I tell you on the pattern that I was looking for, right? Consolidation, manipulation, and then expansion, right? But on a red day like this, you need to have confirmation. Plus, I want to see where is the RTH gap. And we have a nice RTH gap to start digging into if we go long. If this sets up for a long, you have this entire RTH gap that's left by the gap down. All right, I'll definitely be looking for a long here. What time is it? Oh my God, it's 10 a.m. Eastern time. Ooh, Tesla grabbed liquidity down here too. Let's see if it's setting up for a potential long. All right, things are getting interesting. Things are getting super interesting. On a live stream, nobody gives us much insights. Thank you for your time and effort. Appreciate you, C. Trading from Japan here. Oh my God. You know what? Japan is one of my favorite countries in the entire world. But it's literally my worst ever time zone. So I sympathize with you. When I went to Japan last year, I planned on trading and I just gave up for a week. And I said, guys, I'll be back in a week. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to be looking for potential confirmation longs on, I don't like NQ here. I like ES better. Just the setup, right? And I think ES is a little stronger so far. So I'm going to look for confirmation longs on ES. And Tesla, I want to see what it does here, right? If we get an energetic move up with a retracement, I might long this too. Apple looks interesting too, but I'm not a huge... Apple doesn't usually make big moves intraday to warrant a long. So I'm looking at ES and I'm looking at Tesla when that sets up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this stream to the Discord. So for those of you that want to continue, join us in there. Again, we're going to go private January 31st. Then it'll be by application only. I still do these pre-market streams to help the rest of you get set up properly, see what we're looking at, etc. But I'm going to continue this stream in the Discord. So for those of you guys, join me in there. Leave a thumbs up on your way out so that other people can find the stream. And if you guys like this and you want me to do it, comment down below. Let me know that you want me to keep doing it for 2024, because it does take quite a bit of time to do every morning, and I got to wake up hella early. But if you guys enjoy it and you guys get value out of it, let me know. But I will be looking for potential setups in ES, and I'm interested to see what Tesla here does. It still looks like it's shitting the bed, so I need confirmation. But looking to see what ES can provide here. So yeah, I will take this to the Discord. For those of you in the Discord, I will see you in there in a few minutes. Just gonna get some more coffee, and then I'll see you in there probably 10 minutes. Otherwise, I'll catch the rest of you guys